Super duper doo, how are you? Do you like to go fishing? I'm at the lake, my kids are fishing for sticks, and there's probably fish in this lake. What's that got to do with anything, Rowie? Isn't it interesting that fish only get caught when they've got their mouth open? Isn't it interesting that humans only make fools of themselves usually when we say stuff? If you keep your mouth closed and your ears open, you ask more questions, is it possible that you are less likely to make a fool of yourself? One of the things about humans that is incredibly ugly, and I'm not sure if you agree, ignorance I can handle. Like if I don't know something, I'm really happy not to know it and I'm happy to learn. But arrogance is to me really ugly. I never want to be considered arrogant, which is I know everything already. And have you met people like that know everything already? Sometimes I feel very grateful for those people. One, that I don't have to live my life like that. But isn't it fun for them that they know everything already? But when you think you know everything and then you start talking, is it possible that that's when you make a fool of yourself? Because is it possible for us to know everything? I really hope that the answer's no. Even if you think you know everything about a particular subject, is it possible that there's more to learn? There's a better way to explain it. And even worse, if you come off as thinking that you know everything, is it possible that you just make a fool of yourself? And I'm asking all of those in a very respectful way because we live in a world right now where people are very opinionated. Have you noticed? Everybody's got an opinion about religion and politics and sexual persuasion and how to bring up your kids and how you should live your life and how you should exercise and how you should eat and everything. But if you start telling people what to do, is that where we make a fool of ourselves, where our mouth is open and what if the person that we're talking to, we tell them to eat a certain way but they don't like that food? We tell them to exercise a certain way but it didn't work for them. We tell them to do a certain thing with their life or their money or their relationships and they've tried it before, or they might be a relationship expert, they might be a endocrinologist, they might be an exercise physiologist, they might be a professor of that particular subject. But if you don't ask first, if you're not humble, and that's probably the word that I'm looking for, we live in a world where being humble and being kind and being respectful seem to have been taken over by I know everything already and I've got the right to have an opinion. Well, of course we all have the right to have our opinion, but my question is always, why do we have to share it? Why is it so important that somebody else has to have the same opinion as us? And that seems to be where the arguments are, of course. This is my opinion, you've got your opinion, and I'm going to try and convince you otherwise. Well, there's another great quote for that. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. And is it possible that if you argue with somebody, constantly tell them that they're wrong, you should have my opinion, that they get defensive? One of the examples of that is if you've got somebody in your family that doesn't eat healthy food or doesn't exercise, and you keep telling them you should and this is how you should eat and this is the exercise that you should do. Have you noticed that sometimes those people push back and they do less exercise and they become more inactive and they eat more crappy food because they just want to be right and they want to prove you wrong? So what if we just keep our mouth shut and our ears open? And if we're going to open our mouth, there's a great communication skill for that. It's called the 80-20 rule. So 20% of the talking that we do should be just asking questions, and 80% of the communication is listening. Because if I'm asking questions and I'm listening, then I have got my mouth closed, unless I'm asking a question, so I'm less likely to make a fool of myself. But if I'm doing more listening than talking, am I more likely to get more information, so again less likelihood of making a fool of myself? And I'm asking all of that because we seem to be growing children now who have become a little bit arrogant, a little bit know-it-all, a bit opinionated, and there's a lot of kids that are getting hurt on social media because they've got an opinion, another person's got a different opinion, it turns into an argument and nasty things are happening. Why are we even nasty? What's the point of being horrible to somebody else? And my whole life, my suggestion for that has been the only people that are nasty or rude or disrespectful are people who either don't like themselves and they're trying to pull other people down. Powerful, strong, passionate, kind, respectful people are never nasty to anybody. They don't pull anybody down. They don't need to share their opinion. The smartest people that I've ever met are not the people that have to tell me what to do or have an opinion about what they do. They just live their life, and there's that great philosophy which is mind your own business. Live your life your way, let other people live their life their way, and just love every day. And at the end of this day, look at it, it's absolutely gorgeous. My dogs are swimming in the lake. they're having a great time, and life is just beautiful. And I wish that for everybody, to have more magical moments and less arrogant I know it all moments. Wouldn't that be awesome? Live your life to the max. Super duper doo. How are you? Loving my life at the lake. Woohoo!